Hey guys, Crystal here at Crystal's Crafties, and welcome to the Cricut Crash Course. This is an updated course for 2023. Cricut has made a bunch of updates and added a ton of new features, and so we're going to dive into all of that and see how it all works. I do want to mention the first link in this video, if you're watching on YouTube, will have a PDF file. You can download that PDF and you'll be able to follow along this course outline with me. Okay, so in lesson 1, we're going to work with text. I'll show you how to enter text, change the fonts, change the font size, change the font color, and we'll go over the difference in system fonts and uploaded fonts, and then I'll even show you where to get fonts that you can upload into Design Space. In lesson 2, we're going to talk about shapes and tools. I'll go over all the different shapes that Cricut offers and then kind of why you would want to use those shapes. And then we'll talk about the tools. We will talk about slice, combine, attach, and contour. Okay, in lesson 3, we're going to go over images, phrases, and monograms. So images are the Cricut images that you can find and place into your project, and we'll go over that. Phrases are pre-made designs with popular phrases, and then Cricut has its own monogram maker, and I'll show you how to use it. Then in lesson 4, we are going to work with PNG files, SVG files, and JPG files. I will show you how to upload all of those and how to edit each one depending on what type of project you're wanting to make. And then we're going to go over the templates and how to use those. Okay, so let's just jump into lesson 1, working with text. Okay, so here we are over in Design Space. And if you take a look over here at this left-hand side, this is going to be after you've already started a new project in Cricut Design Space. We're going to have this option for text. If you just click on that, you're going to get this text box pop up. Now, while it is highlighted in blue, you don't have to touch anything else. You can just start typing. So I have typed in my name. I'm going to delete this, get a new text box. If you have a text box that looks like this, it's not highlighted in blue and you're not really sure what to do, you can just double click into it and it will highlight itself, and then I will type out my name again. Okay, so when you jump into a text box that's not already highlighted, it's going to keep the original size. It's going to split whatever you're writing out into multiple lines. Like if I was to continue, it just keeps getting longer and longer because it kept the same size of the text box. We need to fix that first of all. So you want to click your text box and just take this handle here and drag it. Now you've got it all on one line, but you'll see there's like all this area around your text box that you really don't need. But if I come up here and do this, I'm able to size it in, and now I have a text box that looks more like what I would expect it to look like. And I can take my handle here. I have hovered over this handle and I've gotten my arrows. I click and drag and it changes however I drag it. To the left makes it smaller, to the right makes it larger. But what if I want to make my words taller? I don't want to change the width of this design here, but I want the words to be taller. Well, I can't do that by dragging my box up and down. All it does is change the size of my box. What I need to do is come up here and unlock this text box. Now, some of my handles went away. Did y'all see that? Look right here and here. When I lock this box up, I get these handles back. When I unlock the box, those handles are gone. And what you can do now is when you hover over your right handle and you click it, now if I drag the box down, my letters get taller. I can drag the box out, up, over. I can change all the different proportions of the text inside this box now that I have unlocked it. If I lock it back up, I can no longer do any of that. It all stays proportionate. All I can do is scale it up and down. What if I want to rotate these letters? Well, I've hovered over a handle here. If I drag out, I will get curved arrows, and I can now rotate my words. And it gives you a guide up there. Right now I'm rotated at 3%, 7, 9, 18. So I can take it back to 0, and I know that it is perfectly straight when I take it back to 0. Although it doesn't look perfectly straight. What's up with that? Okay, 360 would put it back to perfectly straight. Another thing I can do is I can come up here and I can type in. If I type a 90 and I hit enter, it did a complete 90-degree rotate. I don't want to do that. I can hit my back arrow and go back to where I was. Okay, I'm going to delete this text box. We're going to pull in some more text and we're going to change the font. Okay, so here's my text box. It's highlighted in blue, so I'm going to go ahead and start typing. All right, Crystal's Crafties. Whenever you open a new project and you enter brand new text, it's going to come up in Cricut Sans every single time. Let's change that. So I've got my text highlighted. I know it's highlighted because the box is around it and it's blue over here. So I know this text is highlighted. I'm going to come up here to where it says font and I'm going to change it. So if I look through, I have all of these different fonts available in Cricut Design Space. There's some things I want to show you up here though. Kerned. If I turn this off, I'm going to get more font options. Did you see these two weren't even there before? Let me turn Kerned back on. Those two went away. What does that mean? Kerned fonts just simply means that Cricut Design Space will put the spacing appropriately for you. If you have a script font that is not kerned, it will not connect your letters. If you have a script font that is kerned, it will connect your letters. Let's see if I can find a script font that is not kerned. Okay, this font here, Chloe, this is not a kerned font. None of these script letters are connected. If I wanted to use this font, I would have to come into my letter spacing and drag it down until all my letters connected. Then I would have a font that looks more like a script font. I'm going to Control Z out of that. And I'm going to go find a script font that is kerned, and you can see the difference. Okay, this one is kerned. Now my letters are connected the way they're supposed to be. So that's the difference in your kerned and unkerned fonts. And this is how you change your fonts. So we are up here in the Cricut fonts. If I have one I know I want, like I want to go back to that Chloe font. So let me click this unkerned, type in Chloe and hit enter. It's going to pull up the font for me. That's a quick way to come and find the fonts that I want. I can also bookmark these fonts. Let me do that again. All right, if I click bookmark, it will show up in my bookmark fonts and I won't have to search as much for it. My bookmark fonts will all show up over here under this tab. I don't currently have any, I unchecked that one. But this is where they would show up if you had bookmarked fonts. Okay, system fonts, what is this? System fonts are fonts that are installed on your computer. So when you get a computer, it's going to have, Times New Roman, and it's going to have Helvetica, and it's going to have Arial, and just the basic fonts that are already installed on your computer. They will show up here. But if you want to download fonts to your computer to use in Design Space that are truly amazing, like just anything you could think of, any kind of font, you can get these that have these fancy little extras. You can get fonts that are popular and trending right now, like these retro fonts or this Grenched font. You can upload so many different fonts into Cricut Design Space just by going to Creative Fabrica, and I'll put a link in. I'll put a link in the PDF file if you're getting this as a free download, and I'll put a link in the description. if you're watching this on YouTube. And you can come in here and you can download 10 items for free to try out Creative Fabrica. So you would download these onto your computer, whichever font it is that you want, and you would install it onto your computer. Now that's going to be different based on what type of computer you're using, whether it's a Windows or a Mac or its operating features. But get that font, get it downloaded and installed. That's a big one. Get it installed on your computer, and as soon as you do, you will see all of those beautiful fonts pop up over here under the system fonts. I have changed this over to one of my favorite fonts. It's called Amethyst, and I did get it from Creative Fabrica. And then you can use any font you want. So let me just come back up here one more time. I do want to mention system fonts are where you have downloaded them yourself from a different site and you've installed them on your computer. Bookmarks, I'm just going to go ahead and bookmark Amethyst just so you can see. Now if I click bookmarks, it's going to show up in here. And Cricut fonts are the ones that come installed in Cricut Design Space. Now this does not mean they are free. If you don't have Cricut access, you cannot use any font that has an A beside it without paying for it. Later on, I will go over Cricut Access. It's in the PDF, everything that you get with Access and how much it is. But you can see like this font is free. There's no little A right there. And let's scroll forever to find another one because they are few and far between. If you don't want to do this, if you don't want to scroll and find the free ones, you can come over here to Filter. And you can just put free. And now it will only show you free fonts. So this is everything that you're going to get for free with Cricut. And there's still a decent amount. It's just nowhere near what you would get if you had Cricut Access. Okay, let's change the color of this text. When you initially type in some text, it's going to be this dark gray color. Let's change it to pink. Now this one's probably not the best to show you the color. Let's switch to whatever this is. Adeline. Okay, that is really big. Let's change that. I just went up here and changed the width instead of grabbing handles because it was so big the handles were hard to find. Okay, so here's where I changed the font color. I changed it to pink. I can change it to red, purple, whatever I want. But if there's nothing here that's exactly what I want, you can click Advanced. And then you can just drag this little circle to be whatever you want it to be. You can move your bar up and down and change it this way as well. Or if you happen to know the specific color code, you can type it in down here and it will put in whatever color you have told it to put in. Okay, so let's do a quick text overview. To get text, you will hit the text. You will type in a word. If you want to change the sizing of your word, you unlock it. Hover over your handle and then you can change whatever size you want. We can change the font. We can change the color. We can rotate it. We can curve it. We didn't go over this previously. If you hit this curve, it's going to give you a slider. You slide up, you're going to curve down. You slide left, you're going to curve up. That's probably not the best word to curve. Let me delete this one. We'll come up here and curve this. You can get a pretty good curve going on using this feature here. And you want to go back to straight, you just type in a 0. Okay, so those are the text features in Cricut Design Space. All right, lesson 2, shapes and tools. Let's go over all of the different shapes and tools that we can use in Cricut Design Space. So if we come back over here to our left menu, we just did text. Now let's click into these shapes. Okay, free. All of these shapes right here are free. If you have access, you have access to a lot more shapes. I mean, a lot more. But let's just start here and work with these free shapes. Why do I need shapes? What is the point of this? What am I going to do with it? Shapes are how you create designs. I'm going to pull in a circle. I'm going to get 2 more circles just like this. So while this one is selected, I can come over here to duplicate, and I'm going to get another one. And let's say I want another one. I can right-click it and duplicate it that way as well. And just for fun, let's say I want a 4th one. I can also hit Control D on my Windows computer or Command D on a Mac, and it will duplicate it that way as well. So now I have these 4 circles. What on earth would I do with this? Well, I'm not going to do anything with 4. I'm going to take this back one or this bottom one and hit backspace to delete it. I could have also clicked the trash can up here. I'm going to make this one a little bit bigger by hovering over my handle. Then I'm going to make this one even bigger by hovering over the handle. I'm going to take my mouse and I'm going to draw a box around all of them. Now I'm going to line it all up. If I come up in here to align and I center all of these circles horizontally, let's say I kind of separate them out just a little bit. And let's say I drag that box again and I come up here to my color and I turn them all white. I am building a snowman. What else do I need for a snowman? I need a nose. So I'm going to grab this guy here. And I want to rotate this nose. So I'm going to hover over my handle and drag out just a little bit until my straight arrow becomes a curved arrow. Okay, now I want to unlock this because I don't want that big of a nose. I want more of a skinnier, slanted nose. That's still a little too big. Okay, so there's a nose and I'm going to turn it orange. Okay, we need some eyes, right? So I guess we need 2 more circles. Let's see here. Yep, that's good. Let's turn that circle a solid black because everything you put in is going to be a grayish black. And I'm going to duplicate it by hitting Control D. Okay, look, we're making a snowman. Okay, let's see, he needs buttons. So let me just duplicate that circle again. And again. And one more time. Now I'm having to click out of it because if I just try to drag it while it's already highlighted, it's going to change sizes. So click out of it, then come back and drag it. And I would do more circles for a mouth. This is a reason you would use the shapes. Let's get rid of all of this. What's something else I can use these shapes for? Let me get another circle. And another triangle. Okay, I want to rotate this one 90 degrees. Whoops. Actually, I need it 180 degrees. There we go. And I'm going to unlock it because it's too wide for my liking. Make it a little bit longer. Let's turn it like a creamy kind of color. You guys see what's going to shape up over here? What is this going to be? We have an ice cream cone. So this is why you will use your shapes. Now again, if you do not have access, you're a little limited. If you have Cricut Access, you've got a lot more you can do. Okay, the next thing we're going to talk about is this combine feature down here. This combine feature has several other things inside it, and I'm going to insert another video that I've already made that goes over in detail how to use this combine feature. Hey guys, Crystal here at Crystal's Crafties. Today's tutorial I'm going to show you how to use the new combine features in Cricut Design Space. So right now this is grayed out, we don't have any selections. Let's get some stuff on the screen so we can see how to use it. So I'm going to come over here to the shapes and just pull in a circle. And then I'm going to duplicate this circle. I can come right here and duplicate it, or I can right click and duplicate. Okay. Now while this is selected, I'm going to come up here to its color box, change it to pink. I'll change this one to blue, just so these are a little easier to see what we are doing. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do is the weld that we used to have available to us in Design Space. So I'm going to select both of these, come to Combine, and Weld. And you'll see just like it used to, it takes the two, joins them together and makes them one, and that is a final process. There is no undo. There's no back out unless you Control Z, which is what I'm about to do. But weld is a final thing. If I hit Control Z, I can get back to where I started. Well, now they have this new feature. I've selected both of these. I come to Combine, and if I hit Unite, it does the exact same thing. It looks just like weld, except for the difference here is if I want to undo it, I come to Combine and I can undo the Unite. And now they are two items. I can separate them back out again. Select them both, Unite, and I have one item. But if you look at my Layers tab, they are two. I can ununite and separate them back out. If this is something I want to be final, I don't anticipate ever having to change this, I could come in here and I could merge these layers together, and now it's just like the weld. They are one solid image. So I'm going to plop this over here, and we're going to name this Unite. But I'm going to pick a different font. I was working on a different project earlier. Okay. So this is Unite. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Let me grab two more circles. Okay, let's change their colors. Pink again for the top, blue for the bottom. Okay. So let's move on to the next item we have over here. So I've got them both selected. I'm going to come to Combine, and I'm going to hit Subtract. Now what this did was it subtracted the top circle from the bottom circle. Okay, we get out of that. It took the pink out of the blue. Let's say I move the blue to the top. So I've selected my blue, Arrange, Bring to Front. Now it will subtract the blue from the pink. Select them both, Combine, Subtract. Blue gets taken out of the pink. Okay, next we have Intersect. So again, let's get our circles. Okay, we're going to make one pink, one blue. Select them both. I can come here to Combine, Intersect. It is going to leave where they have overlapped. So let's see. This was the section where both of those circles overlapped. Let me show you exactly what that means. This right here was the intersection where these two circles overlapped. That is what you get when you intersect. So if I move this like up here, and I come to the intersect again, I'm going to get this section here. Combine, Intersect. And now I have this kind of a thing going on. Okay, so we've done Unite, we have done Subtract, we have done Intersect. The next thing is extrude. So let's get these circles again. Now, if I hit extrude, it's going to do the exact opposite of intersect. It's going to delete where they overlap and leave everything else. So let's take a look at it. Okay. That is what we're left with. It has taken out the middle of those two circles. So those are the functions within combine. Unite, subtract, intersect, extrude. Now, unite is pretty self-explanatory. You know you're going to use that if you want to make two things into one. Subtract, you're going to subtract one thing from another. It's really, really similar to slice. It just doesn't give you all the leftover pieces that slice does. But intersect and extrude, these are kind of new concepts for Design Space. This isn't something we've really been able to do before. Let me show you some really cool things that you can do now that Design Space has these two features. We're going to start with extrude. Okay, so for example, I'm going to come into my images and I'm going to grab a snowman. And any snowman will work. It doesn't matter. You don't have to do this. I just want to show you something really cool. So I'm going to take this snowman here and I'm going to add him to the canvas. Okay, here's my snowman. Let's make him a little bit bigger. And now I'm going to go get some snowflakes. So again, let me come to images and let's make this flake. And I want to get a few different ones. This is perfect. There's 4 different snowflakes here. I'm going to click this, add to canvas. Okay, this is a little large. I'm going to make it smaller. And I want to separate out these snowflakes individually, so I'm going to ungroup them. Okay. I'm going to put this guy here, this guy here, this guy here. Oh, his middle came out. Did y'all see that? That little part. So I need to group all this back together. And select everything and just attach that together. Okay. We'll put this guy just in the middle. And I'll duplicate him. And you'll see what I'm doing here in a minute. I'm just trying to get everything kind of designed up. Now let's make that smaller actually. And I'll duplicate this. Okay, so we've got a design going where we have this snowman and we have these snowflakes. Now I have intentionally left some of these snowflakes hanging off of the snowman and some others completely inside of the snowman. We're going to use extrude to make a really cool design. So I'm going to select everything here. I've got my snowman and each of my snowflakes selected, and I can tell that for sure because when I come over here, everything is highlighted in blue. I know it's selected. If it's not highlighted, it's white, or if it's not selected, it's white. Okay, so I've got everything highlighted. I'm going to come to Combine, Extrude, and wow, just like that. Did you see what happened there? It cut these snowflakes out of the middle, but the ones that I had overlapping, it left part of them hanging off of the side. So that is a really, really cool feature that we have not been able to do before. And if I set this to a print, you can really see the line where it came in and just separated out the two things that we had. That is just something really cool that we haven't been able to do before now in Cricut Design Space. Now let's talk about what we can do with intersect. Okay, intersect also has some really fun things that you can do with it. Let me get a heart. Okay. I'm going to unlock this heart. I want to squinch up the bottom, but with it being locked, I can only make it bigger and smaller. If I unlock it, I can take this and move it up to kind of squinch up the bottom a little bit. Okay, now let me grab some text. I'm going to change this font to a system font that I like. It's one I have previously downloaded. It's called Sorinka. Okay, and I'm going to put in my name. All right. So let me turn the heart pink. My name can stay gray, that's fine. So I need to edit this a little bit. I need to make, what I'm going to do is turn my name into the shape of this heart. So I need to edit the letters just a little bit so that they fill up the entire space of the heart. To do that, I'm going to unlock my letters so that I can stretch them all out. And now I'm going to ungroup to each individual letter. If you click this advanced right here, I can ungroup and each letter will become separate. Do you see over here they all separated? So what I want to do is stretch each letter to where it overlaps the top and the bottom of the heart. So I'm just coming up barely over the top, and I'll come down to where it goes over the lines of the heart. Let me get the top of this one. Perfect. You do not want your letters to overlap, so if you need to adjust them, make them thinner, thicker, whatever you need to do to get them to where they're going to overlap the heart shape, but not overlap each other. You see I have space in between each of the letters. Okay. For this to work, I need to connect these letters. If I try to do it right now, it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 things selected. It's not going to let me do it. If I come in here and I hit intersect, it's going to say you're crazy. You've lost your mind. No thanks. So what I need to do is select each letter. I'm going to hold, I've clicked the first one, I'm going to hold shift and just click until all of my letters are selected. Again, I know they're all selected because they're all highlighted. I am going to combine and weld. I need to unite this. I need to make it one item. This won't work if I have more than one item selected. So here are my letters. Here's my heart. I'm going to hold shift and select my heart. Now they're both selected here. Now I can come to combine and intersect, and my letters just turned into the shape of that heart. It sliced out the extras and it left the heart shape. So that's something else really cool that we haven't really been able to do. You've been able to slice, but it's never been to the extent of this intersect. So, all right, that is the new features that we have with combined. Intersect gives us great designs. Extrude gives us great designs. Unite, subtract, we're used to those. Those are two that we've seen before. They're just called something different. And we still have weld and we still have slice. It's just a little more updated and advanced. All right, guys. Okay, that was combine. Now let's talk about how to use slice and attach. Again, I'm going to put in another video that I've done to show you how to use slice and attach. Hey guys, Crystal here at Crystal's Crafties. Today we're going to go over slice and attach in Cricut Design Space. Alright, let me get some shapes on here so that I can show you really what it is we're doing. I've pulled in one circle, come to the shapes, I'm going to pull in another circle, and maybe even a square, just so that we can really see what all we're doing here. Okay, let me change colors on some things so we're not getting confused. Okay, so to use slice, what this does is it literally slices one thing out of another. If I kind of put this circle here on the square and I select them both and I hit slice, it's going to cut it all apart. So it sliced the circle out of the square. I now have that and this, but it has left me the parts that were sliced out. So I still have both parts of my circle, both parts of my square. If I want to do anything with these extra pieces that were sliced out, I still have them available. And that's the big difference between slice and subtract. A lot of people think they do the same thing, but they really don't. Let me show you. I'm going to just Control Z and back out of all of this that I have done. Okay. So if I take my circle and my square again, select them both, and I come over here to subtract, it's going to do the same thing, except for I only get the final thing. It subtracted the top layer from the bottom layer and only left me with what was on the bottom. I don't get all those other pieces. But again, if I come to slice, I'm going to get all these extra pieces. So this is something that is good for, if you're wanting to make, I'll just use this circle as an example. And I will grab a snowflake from my images. This one's fine. I'm going to add it to the canvas. That is a big snowflake. Okay, let's say I want to slice this snowflake out, but I want to keep the snowflake. I don't want to lose it. In fact, I want several of them. So I'm going to duplicate and duplicate. I'm just clicking, I'm right clicking to duplicate. Or I could also come over here and use the duplicate. Okay, so let's say I want to slice all of these snowflakes out of my circle. And I don't want to lose the snowflakes. I want to keep them as well. Something about slice though, I cannot slice more than 2 things at a time. If I drag my box around this and I try to slice, it's going to tell me, no, sorry, you can't do that. That's because I have more than 2 objects selected. What I would have to do in this case is make these snowflakes one big object. So I'm going to click my first one, hold Shift, and select all of the rest of them until they are all highlighted. I can't get it right here. It's not really letting me because it's so close. So I'm going to come over here while I'm still holding Shift, click it, and now they are all selected. And I'm just going to weld them all together to make them one unit. Okay, so now I have these snowflakes. Let's name that snowflakes. I'm going to right click, rename snowflakes. And I have the circle. Drag my box around both, and now I can slice. I hit my slice. I still have all my snowflakes. I have the snowflakes that got sliced out, and I have my circle with the snowflakes cut out of it. These I have welded together. There is no way to unweld them. That was a final decision that I had made. I actually don't need this, so I'm just going to delete it because I can use these for whatever I wanted my snowflakes for. Okay, so let's talk about attach and what that does. Let me pull in some more shapes. And we'll get the square back. Okay, let's do the same colors we had before. Pink, blue, and kind of an aqua seafoam color. Okay, so what does attach do? Earlier, to make the slice feature work, we had to weld those snowflakes. Why couldn't we just attach them? What is really the difference here? Because if I put this circle here and this circle here, and I select it all and I attach it, I mean, it's all one thing now, right? It's all together. Attach really is just a placeholder. When you hit attach, you still have separate objects. You can see over here in my layers, I still have a square and 2 circles. I'm going to duplicate this I hit Control D to duplicate. If I weld all this together, I no longer have a square and two circles. I have this welded, completed with no other lines or cuts in it layer. So attach is a placeholder. It will attach everything together and hold it for you in the order that you want it in. And that is really helpful when you're placing things on your mat. So let me kind of show you what I mean there. I'm going to detach these, pull them out and make them separate again. And let's see. Okay, now I'm going to do the same with my squares. Okay, so I have a row of circles and I have a row of squares. And let's say for some specific reason, I really need all of these circles to cut out in this exact order, and I need the squares to cut out in this exact order. I don't want them to be jumbled. If I just hit make it right now, look what happened to my screen. It optimized it to use as little material as possible, but I don't want them optimized. I want all my circles on top of all my squares. This is an instance where I would select everything and attach, and now if I hit make it, all of my circles are on top of all of my squares, and I have all of that dead space in the middle that I told it I wanted. For whatever reason, I might need that. Using attach though, if I want to come back and redesign something, say I want this to be perfectly even. I want this square to line up with the left of that circle. I want this square to line up with the right of that circle. Well, all I have to do is detach it, select these two objects, and align their right sides. Select these two objects and align their left sides. And how I'm doing that, I'm clicking the first one, holding shift and clicking the second one to get them both selected. Now I can come back and I can attach them again, and I can hit make it, and they're perfectly lined up. If I had welded all of this together instead of attaching, let me detach it and let me come in and weld it. That's it, I'm done. I cannot unweld, I can't slice, I can't do anything. A weld is a final choice. All right, let's look at it all one more time. Let's go over to slice. Let's get our circles in here. Duplicate. Gonna turn one pink and one blue. And I'm gonna make this one smaller. And I'm gonna slice it out of the middle of this one. Now I went behind it. I can bring it back up to the front if I just arrange and bring to front. Okay, drag my box to get them both selected. Slice. And I now have all of these circles. Okay, now let's do attach. I'm going to put them where I want them to be. I want those two circles to be together and this one to kind of be by itself. So I'm just going to attach these two. And I hit make it, and I'm going to get two separate mats because I have two different colors. But my blue ones are right where I wanted them to be, and my pink one is up there on its own mat. Okay, so there we have it. That is how we use slice and how we use attach in Cricut Design Space. Okay, the last one we're going to talk about is contour. So let's get going with contour. Hey guys, Crystal here at Crystal's Crafties, and today I'm going to show you how to use the contour tool in Cricut Design Space. So contour is used to edit an image that isn't really editable to begin with. So you can see I have this sunflower here. It is one layer. There's nothing else I can do with this. I cannot change the color of the blades to be different. I can't change the middle. I can't delete anything or add anything like this. This is this, and there's nothing I can do unless I use the contour tool. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is give this whole flower a background. So I'm going to click contour. And you see all of these different little pieces of the design are over here. This is everything all welded in together into one. So if I click hide all contours, it will hide everything but the largest layer. That is always, always, always going to be a base layer. Close out of it, and you see it's all black now. So I'm going to leave this black, and then we're going to start working on the inner layers. I need to duplicate this though. So we're going to come up here, we're going to double click right here and name this base layer. Okay. Now this we're going to name outline. I'm going to double click and I'm going to make it an outline. You'll see what I do. So I'm going to select this, I'm going to contour. And before we had hidden all the contours, now I'm going to show all contours. Everything is back in. Click it, here we go. Let's turn this like a yellow. Okay, we'll put that there. Okay, now let's make each blade a different color. So let's duplicate our outline here. We're going to right click and duplicate. And let's start with some pink. So let's call this layer pink. Okay, click it, click contour. And you want to get rid of everything that you don't want to be pink. So I want this to be pink. I don't want this, don't want this. I want that to be pink. No, no, yes, no, no, yes, no, no, yes, no, no, yes, no, no. So I have clicked out everything I do not want to be pink. Actually, I did want that one to be pink. And I have left in everything I do want to be pink. Now I know that is a little hard to see, but if it is left in your design, first of all, it will be highlighted over here in gray. And second of all, it'll be a darker gray over here if it is left in. So you can see this is a little bit of a darker gray, this is a little bit of a darker gray. I want to get rid of that. Forgot about the middle. Okay, so everything that's left will be pink. I click my X. Forgot to get rid of the background. Also click out your big background layer. There we go. Now all of these blades can be pink. I can come over here. I can turn them pink. And I'll just pop them into place. Okay. Let's duplicate this again. I'm going to go ahead and duplicate the outline. Get me another one. Let's make these green. Okay, so we will select it, contour. I won't forget the outline this time. Click out that first one. And then let's see what can be green. Okay, so this one was pink. I know I want that gone. This one can be green. And then I'll click out that one. This one can be green. Click out, click out. That one can be green. Click out, click out. Click out, that one can be green. Okay, let's take a look at that and see how that's going to be. That's probably a little too much green. Let's put it over here and see what else we need to get rid of. Okay, we need to get rid of these two. So let's do that. Okay, and let's see, what other color do we want to add in here? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more leaves. Let's make them like a blue color. So we're going to click our outline again. We're going to duplicate it. Okay, we will come into the contour. I'm going to reduce my screen size just a little bit so that my contour box doesn't cover up my flower and I can see what I'm doing. Okay, so contour. Get rid of that big one. Okay, I don't need that. I don't need that, 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 that. I might need that one. That or that. Let's see how that does me. Okay, there we go. Let's turn these blue. Okay, so now let me kind of group all this together and move it over here. We have all these different colors on our sunflower, and our outline or our base layer is black. Let's change this base layer to a brown. And let's create a little bit of an offset for it. Not that much, I mean just a little bit. So let's say 0.05. Okay, apply. We want the offset to be the same color brown. We can delete that first one. Okay, so now I've got my yellow outline on my brown offset layer, which is going to be my base layer now. Let's rename that base. Pink, green, and let's name this one blue. Okay, so here's all of our layers. Let's just start putting them in here. Okay, it's turning out to be really nice, but remember on this outline part, whoop, come here outline. We said we wanted to get rid of some of these lines. Let's see if we can get rid of those. Click contour and see if it will let us get the little individual lines. It doesn't look like we can. Okay, we can't come down that far on this one, and the reason is because each of these lines is connected to a larger part. They aren't separate from everything else. They aren't kind of on their own, so we can't get rid of those. We'll put this back in, line up our blue. Okay, so I just took that single layer outline flower and created 5 different layers in 5 different colors to make this more detailed, intricate design. That is what you will use contour for. You can also use it to delete parts of a design that you don't want. So let's say I have this ice cream cone here, but I don't want any of these sprinkles to be on the ice cream cone. Well, again, this is just one layer. There's nothing I can do. I can't come in here and click these and edit them out. They won't go away. But if I come to my contour tool, I can scroll over here and locate all of these little sprinkles. Click them all. And they're all gone. Using my contour tool again, I can color each different part of this ice cream a different color. Let's do that. So we want to duplicate, contour. We want to delete the background, and I'm just going to work on this layer here right now, so I'm going to delete literally everything else. Okay, let's make this brown. Okay, we've got a chocolate layer. Okay, let's duplicate this. And now we're going to work on this layer here. So we're going to delete everything but the second layer. So contour. I'm going to hit hide all contours because that's a lot to do. I'm going to put my second layer back in. I'm going to click it, click out the base. So the only thing I have in this whole design now is the second layer. And let's make it like a strawberry. And now let's get the cone. So again, we'll duplicate our original design. We're going to delete everything but the cone now. So use our contour, hide all contours. We can turn this like a light brown. Let's see here. We'll go to this brown and then we will edit it. Make it more of a cone type color. Let's see, maybe there. Put this on the very bottom, so arrange and send to back. there we have our ice cream cone. This was what we started with. This is what we ended up with after we deleted. Let me get all those sprinkles back in actually so you can see what we really started with. Okay, so this is what we started with. And this is what we ended with by using the contour tool on a design that didn't have any editing options on it. Okay, so that is how we use contour in Cricut Design Space. Okay, so earlier we talked about Cricut Access. If you have downloaded the PDF, I've got a link in here that's going to go over more in depth what you can get with Cricut Access, and you can decide if that is right for you or not. Okay, lesson 3, images, phrases, and monograms. All right, let's jump right in. So if you look over here again on your left, you're going to see this little icon that says images. Let's click that. And nothing really shows up. Well, let's see. What do we want to look for? Let's look for a donut. Whoops. I need to put the T on that. Okay. I have all of these images of donuts. What on earth am I going to do with all of this? Well, let's say I want to get a full color donut and I want to print it onto printable vinyl and I want to iron it onto a shirt. Well, I can come over here and narrow some of this down a little bit. I can come in here and I can narrow down this material option. I can narrow down this operation type. I want to get only print and cut images because that's what I'm going to be doing with this. So if I click that, now it will only show me donuts that are print and cut. That's cute. Okay, it didn't have very many though. It just had 24. All right, let's say, no, I want to use adhesive vinyl. I want to make a tumbler. I need to cut each of these out in vinyl, so I'm going to do cut only. I got a lot more images. I got 270. And all of these are going to be cut images that I can cut out of vinyl. Let me just click one. Let me just click this guy here. So I select it, and this is an access image. Again, you're only going to get this if you have Cricut Access. And I hit Add to Canvas. Here it is with all of its layers. I've got the green sprinkles. I've got, what is this? Orange sprinkles, blue sprinkles, pink sprinkles. It's all separated out. My machine would cut each of these layers separately and I would have this crazy donut going on. Let me delete all of this. Select all and delete. Okay, what if I only want free images? What do I do here? I just click free. And I've got 4 donuts I can pick from. I think Cricut is really pushing this access thing because you don't get a ton available if you don't have access. And all of this right here, material, it would just, what kind of are you using? Are we using vinyl? Are we using infusible ink? Are we using leather? Layers, do we want it to have several layers or just one layer? I'm going to click this button back off up here. So the difference. This is a 1-layer design. This is a multi-layer design because we have more than one color. One color, one layer. Layered design, more than one color. Ownership, what's that? Purchased or uploaded. If you have already purchased it, so you don't have Cricut Access, you want to use this donut, it's going to cost you 99 cents. But if you've already purchased it, you don't ever have to purchase it again. It will show up here in your purchased. If it's something you've uploaded, I've uploaded donuts. Let's see what I've uploaded. Okay, these are the donuts that I have already uploaded into Design Space. So I can come and find my files that I have put in very quickly by searching donut and images and then selecting ones that I have uploaded. Available online, what's this? Again, it's just ones that I've downloaded. Licensed content, okay. Here you go. Does Disney have any donuts? Nope. But let me take that out and then click Disney, and then you can come over here and you can see all of the images, licensed Disney images. Let's see licensed Marvel images. Oh, nice, okay. Now the thing with these licensed images is they are not free. Even with access, you will pay for each of these images that you use. And you've got Sesame Street, Star Wars, Warner Brothers. What's in the Warner Brothers? Oh, Game of Thrones. Okay, so those are how all of that works. And then creator, contributing artist is someone who has used Cricut Design Space to create a design, and they have put it into Design Space for other people to use. Cricut means it was created by the Cricut developers, by the Cricut designers. Okay, so that is images. That is how you use it. Okay, let's look at these phrases. What is over here in the phrases? Phrases is basically the same thing as images, except for they have taken popular phrases and put them into their own categories. So if I want to come up here and type live, laugh, love, I will get all of these designs that have live, laugh, love in them. There's plenty of them to choose from. Okay, what if I want to put be kind? Okay, I'm going to get all of these. So these are designs created by people like this one, Heather Roberts, Vanessa Anderson. These are people who have created designs and made them public in Design Space for anyone who wants them to use. So that is how the phrases work. You would just pick one you want and again add it to your canvas. And you can use the design however you would like. So what's over here in this editable images thing? Let's click that. Editable images are SVGs that you can edit. These again are designs created by either Cricut or a designer, and they're in Design Space for you to use and edit however you choose. So let me type in birthday. And let's kind of scroll down and let's say I like this design, but I'm not 4, I'm 5. So I'm going to click it. I know it's editable because it's got this little pin here. Add to canvas. All I have to do is double click in this text box. It's highlighted. Type in the word 5. Let's spell that right. And now I'm finally 5, not 4. That is how the editable images work. You can edit the parts of this image. I can edit more than just this though. If I want to ungroup it, I can take out this word, I can take out this, and I can move the word 5 out of the little banner. I can edit any part of that I want because it is an editable image. Why can't I do that with regular images? Let me come back up to the images. Okay, so like this. Let's say I like this candle on this cupcake, but I'm not 1, I'm 2. Well, let me add this to the canvas. There's no layers over here. There is no separation. I can't ungroup anything. I can't click in and change this 1 to a 2. This is a full locked design. It can't be changed. I can use it. I can cut it. I can change it to a different color like pink. But I can't edit anything about this design because it is not an editable image. That's the difference in editable images and regular images. Now, some images you can make some customizations to, but if you want to for sure know that you can make edits, you want to come down here to this editable images. Okay, next we're going to look at this monogram maker. And again, I have a video that I'm going to insert right here on how to use the Cricut monogram maker. Hey guys, Crystal here at Crystal's Crafties, and today I want to show you how to use the awesome new monogram maker in Cricut Design Space. Before we go any further, I will tell you this is a feature that is only available to Cricut Access members. If you don't have access, you can view all these monogram things, but you won't actually be able to add them to your canvas and work with them. So let's get started. I have made this monogram and it was super simple. I did it all with the new monogram maker. Let me show you how it works. So you click monogram over here and you type in your initials. I had SVG typed in a minute ago. Let me do my actual initials. And then you can pick from all kinds of different things. So let's say modern. We can come over here and we can do just your basic simple. We can do this. We can do this. We can put frames around it. We can, right now I have it set to just do cut, but you can do any, which will show you things that if it has scissors, it cuts it. If it has the pen, it draws it. So let's see, I'm going to go back to just cut. And we're still in the classic. We've looked through some of the modern ones. Here's the options that you have for modern. Let's go over to elegant. So we've got a few more options here. Let me kind of scroll through. You've got, these floral things around your letters. You've got the flower on each letter. We have got, I'm going to just click this, and then you can go through here again and get your different, whatever it is you want to do with your monogram there. We have handwritten. These are the ones that have the more fancy letters. Again, and we can take this all the way back to having no frame on it or just a circle around it. We've got vintage. These are really cool. That has a flower in the side of it. That's kind of cool. Oh, that's nice. I can see that for Christmas or something. Okay, so I'm going to come back to modern. And now I'm going to come over here to thematic. Thematic, we have botanical, decorative, occasions, interest, and sports. This is the one that I had up on the screen to begin with. So pretty. I love that one. You can just do the vines. You can do the leaves. You can get this one flower that wraps around. We've got some really pretty flowers. And if you notice, it's changing what's inside. To begin with, we had the full monogram. As we moved on, we started losing letters. That one is just first and last initial. This one is just last initial. And we can change the font in here as well. Oh, I liked that. Where was it? That one. I liked that one. Decorative. So this is going to be, a lot more detailed things. We've got diamonds and moons. We've got this full mandala type thing. We've got this fancy business. I don't even know what that is. Occasions. You've got your graduation cap. Get that right now. Like today is May 25th. Graduation is probably this weekend. This is going to be awesome to get right now. We've got the apple, a leaf, a snowflake, a tooth, Christmas tree, angel wings. Just so much. Interests, we've got dog paws, butterflies, this heartbeat, a watering can, a flamingo, salon scissors, so many things. Sports, all the sports up in here. Hockey, baseball, soccer, bowling, weightlifting. And again, you can change the font of your monogram in here. Okay, so let me just put one up on here. Let me do this graduation one. Where did it go? Occasions. Okay, so I'm just going to add this to Canvas. Let's say that's what I want. I'm going to add it. Okay, and now I can come in and I can change the colors. I want this to be black as well. Okay. And I want the tassel to be, let's say, red. So you can change your colors around and you can size the whole thing. You can even unlock it and do the, smushy smush if you want. And then it's ready to go. You hit make it, you pick what you want it on, continue, and it will cut it out for you. I think I probably made this black a different color than the first black. Let's see what happened there. If I hit my color sync, yes, those are two different colors of black. I'm going to drag this one up. And now if I hit make it, my cap and gown, or my cap and initials will be on the same cut mat. Okay, I just had to show you guys that really quick because I thought that was so awesome. And again, this is just for Access subscribers. If you don't have Access, you're going to come over here and you're going to get to look through all of this good stuff, but you won't be able to make it. All right, that's all I got. We'll see you next time. Okay, lesson 4. This is our last lesson. We're going to talk about PNG, JPG, SVG, and templates. What is all of that? Okay, a PNG is an image that does not have a background. A JPG is an image that is typically on a white background. An SVG is an image that has special little nodes in it. It is designed in a special program, and it tells your Cricut machine where to cut, how to cut, what kind of stroke to make. SVG images are vector images that are highly detailed and specific for cutting machines so that they can be cut out. Now, yes, you can cut a PNG or a JPG, but you first have to convert them in Cricut Design Space to an SVG so that Cricut will be able to cut it. And then we're going to talk about templates. Okay, so let's start with the easiest one of all. If you have purchased an SVG from Etsy or you've gotten one from Creative Fabrica and you want to bring it into Cricut Design Space, here's what you're going to do. You're going to come over here to Upload. And then you're going to click Upload an Image. And you will go find the SVG that you want to bring in. So hit Browse, or you could drag and drop if it's on your desktop and you know where it is. Okay, this is the image I'm going to bring in. This is a Valentine's Libby can wrap that I have created, and I sell this in my Etsy shop. It is an SVG image. So when I bring it in, it only gives me the option for cut image. That's all I can do here. I can come and name it something else if I want, and I can give it some tags, but there's nothing else I can do with this other than upload it. Okay, it's in my upload section now. Once I hit upload, it's going to bring me to this section where I have all the different things I have uploaded into Cricut Design Space. If I want to put it in my project, I select it and I hit Add to Canvas. Now here is this SVG, and this one is specifically sized to fit a 16-ounce Libby can. That's the way I created this file, and that's why it looks the way it does. But if you want to make some edits on your SVG file, you absolutely can, because you can edit an SVG. That's one of the beautiful things about it. I can change any of these colors that I want. This file is currently grouped together. I need to ungroup all of it, so I'm just going to click this ungroup. Did you see how all of these boxes separated out when I did that? Look at all of this. This is a ton of stuff to be ungrouped. But now, let me click off of it. I can move this out, and I can move that, and that, and that, and each little heart can be moved out. All this heart comes apart. All of these things can be moved and edited. I can change the color. If I don't want that to be black, let's say I want it to be this pink. Okay, I just change it. Say I want this to be like a purple, so I just change it. SVG files are so very easy to work with because they upload into Design Space already ready to be designed how you want them. I will say you can get some SVG files that are a hot mess if the person who's designing them is new to designing or just really isn't familiar with how they work. That can happen. I've done that. I've had some hot mess files, but I have learned. So yeah, that is how you're going to upload an SVG into Cricut Design Space. And that's kind of how you edit them. You ungroup and change colors, and I can do the same things. I can pull this out and rotate this. I can rotate that. I can flip things around. So this rose is kind of facing off to the left. I can come up here and hit flip. If I flip horizontally, now it's kind of facing off to the right. If I flip it vertically, it's upside down. So there's a lot you can do once you've got your SVG uploaded into Design Space. Okay, I'm going to get rid of all of this. I'm just going to hit select and delete. Now let's upload a PNG and see what happens. So we're going to come to upload, upload image, browse. I'm going to go get a different one. Okay, this is a file that I sell in my Etsy shop as well. When you upload a PNG, you're going to get a whole different menu pop up here. Now, I want to show you some things that are going to happen. It gives you these options. If I click simple, watch. It took out a lot of the colors. Like that donut is all pink. That's not what we want. This is not a simple image. If I click moderately complex, okay, I have some more colors now. My donut's 2 different colors, but the white parts of this design are gone. Like these eyes should be white, and this little tongue should be white, and that tongue should be white. Let me hit complex and see what happens. Ah, my white parts are in there now. Anytime you upload a PNG, just skip straight to complex. Like just do it. Don't mess with what kind is it. Like just put complex image and continue. Now we're going to have some options here. There's a lot that you can do at this point. Since it's a PNG, it does not have a background. You do not need to worry about this magic background remover or anything like that. But let's say I don't want this heart and I don't want this heart. Well, I can choose my eraser tool right here. And you see this little tiny circle that pulled up? I can change the size of that. I had to scroll down a little bit. Let me change the size of that. Now it's bigger. Let me make it even bigger. Okay, now I have a big circle. If I just click in here and drag this big circle all over what I don't want, it will delete it. Okay, let's say I don't want it to say better together. Okay, let me just delete all of this. Now I'm intentionally leaving a little bit in here, and you're going to see why. Okay, let's say that I want to use this as a cut image. I don't want to print it. I don't want to make like a sublimation or a printable vinyl. I want to cut this out. I can preview this cut image. And now it would only give me this background because I've taken everything out, but I can also see these little pieces that I left in. I'm like, whoops, let's come and get those. And then hide cut image, and I can see everything that's left. Those are some editing options that you have, but I'm going to back out of all of this. And I'm going back to the original design that we had. So we've uploaded a PNG and we don't want to edit anything. Let's just apply and continue. This is going to put it into our upload section. Now I have more options. Do I want this to be a cut image? Do I want to cut this out of vinyl? Or do I want this to be a print then cut image? Am I going to use a full color image to make like a t-shirt or a sublimation or an infusible ink or something like that? For this instance, let's go with print then cut. And upload. Here it is in my upload section. I can click it. I can add it to the canvas. It's going to be ginormous. There it is. Now right now it is way too big to print. Cricut's like, you are crazy. So I'm going to lock the proportions of this. If I don't lock it, it's going to get all weird. And I'm going to change the width to like, I don't know, 7. Okay, now it's a more manageable size. So that's how you're going to work with PNG images. We've gone over SVG and PNG. We've done a little bit of editing, but let's hop into a lot more editing and how to get rid of backgrounds. Okay, let's upload a JPG. So again, we've clicked upload, upload image. Okay, let's find a JPG file. Okay, here are some JPG llama files. These are clip arts. They came with PNGs, but they also came with JPGs, and I'm going to show you what you get. So I'm just going to use this one here. I'm going to double click and it'll bring it in. And again, we get simple, moderately complex, and complex. Go with that complex every time. Hit continue. Okay, now here's where we've really got some work to do. If I want to cut this llama out, I'm going to make this something that I'm going to cut with adhesive vinyl. Well, if I see my cut image right here, preview my cut image, I've got a big square. Well, that's not what I want. So this is where we would come in and use this magic background eraser. If I click remove background, it completely takes the background out for me. So now if I preview my cut image, I'm going to have that llama. Okay, if you do not have Cricut access, let me revert. I'll show you a different way that you can do that. We can grab this wand right here. Let me scroll down a little bit. It says click on the areas of the image that you want to remove. So I want to remove this whole white background. All I have to do is click anywhere in the white, and it takes it all away. So if I preview my cut image now, I've got the llama. I just have the base llama. I need to do a little bit more work. Okay, let me make this a little bit bigger. I've increased the size down there. So I want to just get all of this gray llama area to begin with. I just want to start with kind of a base. So I'm going to get rid of everything that's not this gray part. So again, I can use my magic selector and I can click on this white leg and it will go away. Click on all of this and everything will go away. But do you see it's leaving these little black lines? If I click the preview, you can see really well. You see all that that's left behind? I need to get my eraser. And let's see, that's probably a good size. And I'll blow this up just a little bit bigger so we can really zoom in and see. And now I can take this eraser and I can just get rid of all of this that's here. If you want a smaller eraser so that you're not going to accidentally delete any of your image, go ahead and adjust the size of your eraser like we did a minute ago. Okay. Yep, that's good. I'm going to apply and continue. Okay, so here's this cut image. I want to use that. I'm going to hit upload, but I'm not done. I need a lot more going on with this llama. So let me go back and upload the same llama all over again. We're going to get rid of the background. Now I just want to leave in his legs. So I'm going to get rid of this gray. And I will use my eraser again to, let's make that eraser a little bit bigger. Get rid of all of this. Don't need any of the little blanket. And if you don't see what I'm erasing, I can just hit this preview again and you can see all of this in here that needs to be erased as well. Let me scroll down. Okay, I'm going to increase my size some more so I can get a really good up-close view of what I'm working with. Okay, now I've run into a little problem right here. I'm going to have to really decrease the size of my circle. All right. Make my circle bigger again. come in here and get rid of all this. I'm going to leave some of this face in here because it is something that we're going to need, and it's less layering that I'm going to have to do later. All right. Okay. Apply and continue. Yep, all right. I'm going to use this cut image and I'm going to upload it. Okay. We now need to get his little blanket that's on him. So let's one more time upload this llama. Okay, so we already have the gray. I can click out of that. We already have all of this in here, and I'm just wanting to get the blanket. Now the blanket has three different colors. It has brown, yellow, and blue. I can upload this 3 times to get all 3 of those colors, or I can just upload it as one solid color. And to make this a little easier, that's what I'm going to do. So let me get my eraser, and I'm going to really up the size of it. And I'm going to delete everything that is not his blanket. Now let's preview our cut image, because right now I know there's stuff in here that I don't want it to cut, but I can't see it unless I preview the cut image. There all that stuff is. Okay, get rid of all of this. Get rid of all of this. Okay, I'm going to make this smaller again so I don't cut into my blanket. I did cut into it a smidge, but that's fine for this video. Okay, all I have left is the blanket. Add to canvas. And I do want it to be a cut. Upload. Okay, so here's all the parts of my llama. I'm going to select them all, and I'm going to add them all to the canvas. That's really big. Let's lock our image up so it doesn't change proportions. Let's take it down to maybe 8 in width. That's better. Now you needed them all together. If you resized one but not the others, they were going to be out of proportion. Okay, so here's my base of my llama. Let's name him Base. I just double clicked right there and renamed that to Base. And I'm going to turn it a gray color. Okay, here's his blanket. If I double click right here, I'm going to name this blanket. Okay, let's make his blanket pink. So now it's a her. Okay, and that is behind. I need to bring that up. I can use my Arrange tab right here. And you see this blanket is selected. I know that it is because I can see the square, and it's what's highlighted in blue over here. I need to bring it forward. Watch what happens when I click this button. Nothing, because it only moved up 1 layer. It was down here, it moved up 1. Let's do it again. Bring forward. Now it's at the top. If you don't want to mess with this, you can do it all from right here. I can click this, drag it down to the bottom, drag it up 1, drag it up to the top. You can rearrange your layers over here as well. All right. So there's the blanket. Now here's this face. And I think the legs are in that too, are they not? Yes. Okay. I want some of this to be one color and some of it to be another color. So right now I'm just going to select, and I'm going to hit kind of like maybe a tannish color. Let's knock that down a little bit. Maybe like this. Okay. Great. Let's pull it over here. Let's move it to the very top. Go down where I can see these legs and place them in where they go. Okay, so that's good for the legs, but I don't want the eyes to be that color, and I don't want the ears to be that color. So I'm going to use the contour feature that we went over earlier. I've selected my layer. I'm going to name it Legs. Oops. Okay, I'm going to duplicate it, and then I'm going to delete the parts that I've already used. So I've already used the nose and I've already used the legs. Let me contour those parts out. So I don't need the nose. I don't need the legs. And I don't need these ears up here. I'm going to only work with the eyes for right now. So I just have the eyes. Let me turn them blue. Okay, so there's the blue eyes. Now we would work on this a little more to get it better looking. You would have to upload more llamas and do more of that editing on the upload end. But I'm just trying to be a little bit quick about this. And let's see, this is now eyes. And let's duplicate the legs one more time so that we can change the color of the ears. I'm going to delete everything but the ears. So contour. I'm just going to hide all contours. Come in here, get my ears back in, and get rid of that nose. Now all I should have left are ears. Perfect. Let's make them like a darker gray. We'll stick them over there. Okay. I'm going to reduce the size of my screen so you can see the whole llama. So there he is. He would need a little more work. You would need to come back in and upload the rest of your pieces to get all the rest of the colors of your nose and eyes. But that's how it works when you're uploading a JPG and you're converting the JPG to a cut file. When we uploaded it, we chose complex, we got rid of the background, and we hit apply and continue. We uploaded this as a cut image. That process right there, just clicking that, it takes this from a JPG and converts it to a cut file. Cricut Design Space does that for you, and that is how people are like, oh, I can cut any kind of PNG or I can cut any kind of JPG. Well, sure you can, because Cricut converted it to an SVG for you, and you just had to do the extra bit of work to get it to look exactly the way you wanted. If you didn't want to cut it, you wanted it to be a print file, you would click this one, just like we did with the PNG. You can click this, upload as a print and cut image, upload it, and you're going to have the full colored image. Okay. So the last little bit, select all, delete that. The last little bit that we're going to go over are these templates. What are these templates? This is if you are needing to get the correct sizing for very common projects. So you can see they've got baseball shirts, baby bibs, book covers, candles and bowls. They have crock pots and mixers and dishwashers and just all kinds of stuff that's in here. Let's take this down to just fashion. And then let's take it down to pajamas. We're going to do the one-piece little romper for the baby. Okay, now you've got short sleeves, long sleeves, tee romper. What is that? Oh, those are cute. Yep, let's do that. Okay, now you've got sizes. 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, 18. Let's do 12 months. We'll make this like a birthday shirt. Okay. Now I want you to notice something. You see this little romper? It looks tiny, right? It's because it reduced my screen 25%. From here to here is 12 inches. So this romper is almost a foot long in reality. It's just made it smaller on your canvas so that you can see what you're doing. You can make it a little bit bigger. I can up my canvas to 50%. And make that romper a little bit bigger. Now let's say I want to put first birthday. That's perfect. Okay, so I want to use this design. I've selected it. I'm going to add it to the canvas. Now with this romper on the canvas like it is, all I have to do is just kind of eyeball. Let me put that back down to 50. I don't know why it jumped up. Eyeball the size. So yeah, that looks good. That's about where I would expect this design to be on the piece of clothing, on the 24-month romper. Or did I do a 12-month? I did a 12-month because it's a birthday. Okay, so I'm ready. Like that's that. I'm ready to go. I'm going to hit make it. And it just cuts everything the perfect size for me. It does not put the romper onto the mat to be cut. It's just there as a placeholder so that you can get the correct sizing for everything that you need. Let's do something different. Let's get rid of this. Let's change our template to, let's do a t-shirt for like a mom t-shirt. So, classic t-shirts, here we go. Okay, so let's do women's short sleeve, and let's do a large. Okay, so again, this t-shirt is actually almost 32 inches in length. It's just, it's reduced the size of my screen. Let's come up here and type in mom. See what kind of image we can find. Let's do that guy right there. Add to canvas. Let me shrink that canvas back down. Once you get out of it, it puts it back to a normal size. Look how little that is. It's actually 5 by 5. That's a decent size design. It's just so little because our screen is shrunk down and our shirt is the correct size. I'm going to lock this up. And I'm going to just drag and be like, oh, I don't want it that big. No. Yeah, that looks good. That's what I want. Okay. This is now 11 by 11. I'm going to hit make it. Here's the mom. Here's the leopard and the background of the mom. And that's how the templates work. All right, guys, that is all I have for this Cricut crash course. I hope you learned a lot. If you have any questions, just let me know. Thanks, and we'll see you next time.